Alright, welcome back to another Overwatch beginner hero guide. Today we're playing Lucio. Lucio is a support character in Overwatch where he has an AoE heal as well as an AoE speed boost. And that is pretty much his whole thing. It affects everybody in this big circle. The speed boost is, I believe, 30% increase, and then when you amp it up, it is 50%. His healing is normally, I believe, 16 per second to everybody in this large AoE. And then when you amp it up, it is 40 per second. So as you can see, it's not a lot of healing with it without it being amped up. But it is some. It certainly helps. I'm going to let them get low, and then I'm going to swap to heal, and then amp it up, and you'll see how much the difference is. Okay, so this is regular. This is amped up. Pretty significant. It goes from 16 to I think 40 per second. Lucio's passive is that he can wall ride, which is this. He can use it to scale walls, to get up high, get to places where other characters can't. Makes him very difficult to hit sometimes. And his healing AoE thing also affects him, so he can actually effectively heal himself pretty decently in comparison to other supports. His left click shoots 4 projectiles, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4 projectiles. They each do, I think, 20 damage. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, about 20 damage each. His right click has a pretty low cooldown, and it pushes an enemy. We'll use it against Tracer. So depending on where you're standing, it'll push them in a different way. So if I'm standing like right here, she's not going to fly so far up. If I'm up here, like sliding around, it, you know, is going to push her in different ways. If you jump and push, it gets a little bit more distance. And then finally, his ultimate ability, which gives, I believe, 800 shields to everybody in a really large AoE. Basically, if you're in sight of him, you will get the buff. And it's 800 shields that quickly deteriorate. Lucio is a projectile character, so getting used to his aim is going to take a little while, but he's a lot of fun to play. He survives more easily than other characters as well because of his own self-healing, his speed boost to try to get away from things, and the ability to jump off of walls and get speed that way. Speaking of which, when you're riding a wall, you move a little bit faster, and when you jump off of the wall, you get a speed boost. So, pretty strong. I'm going to use the ult again. If you look at my health, I'll get it right now. I go up to almost 1,000 and it quickly deteriorates. So, very good against characters like Zarya ult and like combination ults like Hanzo Zarya. Good against Reaper ult. Good in any situation where your team is taking a lot of damage quickly. In general, it's just a really powerful ult. It does have a cast time, and I'll show you what I mean by that. You can be stunned out of it. Tracer's little hand is getting in the way. But, when you use your ult. Let's say I use it and I jump off of a ledge, which sometimes happens. It'll delay it until you hit the ground. So if I'm up here, it'll take a little bit longer to actually use it. So, and the same goes for places where it stops you from being propped up. So like a Zarya ult, which stops you from moving, you can ult and it will basically be faster cast time. Same thing with Sigma ult. When you're up in the air and you can't do anything, you can use your Lucio ult because it acts like a floor, and it will be used more quickly than if you were just standing on regular ground, as well as protecting your whole team from the damage that you're going to take. So, pretty good. But anyway, things that are good with Lucio would be Reinhardt for the speed boost. You can boost Reinhardt around a corner and get into their team. It's one of the best things you can do with a Reinhardt. Other tanks, pretty much any tank except for like Orisa is good with him. Sigma doesn't have any movement abilities on his own. Neither does Orisa, but Orisa doesn't really necessarily want to get closer to the enemy team. But it is nice anyway. I mean, Lucio in general is a very solid pick. There's nothing bad with Lucio, except for maybe doing like Zenyatta Lucio. That's not a lot of healing for your whole team. But pretty much any other character is good with Lucio. You can do Lucio Batiste, you can do Lucio Brigitte, you can do Lucio Mercy, Lucio Moira, Lucio Anna is very common. It's really just Zenyatta and Lucio don't pair super well together because Zenyatta's single target healing is pretty terrible, and so is Lucio's. They're both kind of like off healers. And they both overlap with their ults. They both have very similar ults, whereas Zenyatta's does a bunch of upfront healing, and Lucio's stops them from taking any damage, so they kind of counter each other when used on the same team at the same time. But aside from that, I mean, that's pretty much it. DPS that work well with Lucio, I mean, pretty much everybody. Lucio can peel for himself a little bit. If you're really good with Lucio's gun, you can actually fend for yourself really easily. He's deceptively tanky when he has his healing turned on, because, I mean, he basically just is constantly healing himself for like 16 per second. And unlike Mercy's healing, it's not affected by if you're in combat or if you've taken damage in the last like second. You're just always healing yourself. So your effective health is higher than what it seems. And his damage is also deceptively good too. If you can land hits, that is. Like 80 per burst isn't that great, but when you're fighting a Lucio that is healing himself and is being squirrely and difficult to hit, and he's hitting you with his shots, it is very difficult sometimes to actually kill him without him killing you. But aside from that, I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. So if you guys like this video, please like my video. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe. If you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments below, or just things you want to tell me. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.